and we'll get started. She's popping in right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to, I decided that we're going to just jump right into it. We're going to start in standing. We're going to do our warm up, our intro in standing postures today. Hey, Arena, glad you made it. Just getting started. And so you can have 2 blocks for class, have them at the, arms distance reachable. And yeah, instead of doing our warm ups seated, we'll do our warm ups standing. Begin, you can actually even look down to start, just to take a moment to really be conscious of your feet. Lift your toes, feel how it engages your arch. And then just try to find what is balanced on your feet. Meaning from the ball to the heel, from the outer to the inner, is there even pressure? You can rock a little bit, that can sometimes help. But you should be able to just feel that out. And then in yoga, we often teach if your feet are not together, we like to think about maybe the outer edges of the feet being more parallel than the inner edges of your feet. So if you look down, you'll see your feet kind of have more of a triangular shape, being wider near the toes than it is near the heel. And so if you make the inner foot parallel, it's actually slightly externally rotated. So you can maybe think about the outer foot being parallel. And we have even weight through all 4 points of the foot. Lift your toes to kind of engage your kneecaps. And push down energetically from your pelvis, from your core. Just sink energy down through the leg bones, through the feet. This should kind of pep up your step a little bit. Feel your core tone, your spine elongate. Then we can just breathe across the chest, in and out through the nose. Keep those legs a little bit active still. Focusing on those 4 points of balance, kneecaps engaged. Filling up the torso. Breathing into the space that you've made. And lift the chin so the front of your throat is much longer than the back of your neck. You continue to breathe here. And then tuck the chin like you're trying to nestle your chin in your collarbones. So the back of the neck feels longer than the front. Notice what this does on your posture. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to activate. You can soften those toes if they're still lifted. We're going to activate our hands. By activating the hands, you're going to turn them out. Flex the fingers. So they've got a little bit of an arch. Notice when I extend my hand, you can see the fingers sort of wing, and you've got this nice curve happening of tone in the arm. Engaging the hand like that. And when I engage the hand this way, you should feel a tone rise all the way up the back of your arm, and it rotates. So you're rotating the inner arm out and the back of the arm in. This will also help open the chest, tone the shoulders, just general sitting culture, texting culture, typing culture. All of this posture is just a direct counter. Breathe here. Keep activating the fingers. Keep rotating. So it's almost like you're not just turning your palms to face front, but almost thinking about turning the palms to face out. And as the palm faces out, you're feeling this arm bone rotate. You can actually feel a rotation happen in your socket. So if you can see on the camera, here would be passive. This arm bone rotates in. And as I activate my hand and rotate, you can feel this joint moving. Just try that one more time. Come back to passive. And nice and slow, start to activate from the fingertips, up the back of the hand, up the back of the forearm. Rotating. Rotating, breathing into the space you make in the front of your chest. Engaging the shoulders. Turning the palms out, even squeezing back slightly so it's kind of like you're lifting your heart, lengthening the front body. Deep breath, engaging through the legs, pressing through the feet. And then exhale, we're going to soften everything, hang your head, droop your shoulders, bend your knees. Keep your feet flat, and as you bend your knees, you want to feel the bones, sort of like a rag doll, barely being held up by puppet strings. You're hanging the body like a baby chair pose. And rounding the back body, just slumping. You're not forcing the spine, you're just softening and softening. Inhale, bring it back up. Elongate your mountain pose. Engage those fingertips, back of the hand, rotating the palms out. Engaging the arms. Kathy, your screen is frozen, so if you can hear me and you're happy here, no need to change anything, but just so you know, your screen's a little frozen. I can't quite see your postures. Rotating the palms out, engaging into the back of the arm, back of the shoulder. Opening your chest. Deep breath here. You should feel like you're the tallest you could ever be. And then exhale. Next exhale, you're going to just release all that effort, release all that tension. You're going to let the head hang, shoulders slump. You can see from the side profile, I'm just sort of drooping my spine. Letting my weight go through my thigh bones, into my shin, into the sole of my foot. For deep breath here, just release your back, release your back. And then inhale, pushing down through the 4 points of your feet, lifting up, starting to engage those fingertips, engage the back of your arm, rotating the hands. Opening the chest. Lift your chin up a little bit this time, going taller. Kind of like you feel like you're a rocketeer soaring through the sky. Pull those arms back so you feel the chest stretch even more, back muscles engage even more. And then relax, nice and passive. You're going to droop. This time you can actually turn your heels out a little bit and let your knees come together. Like you have to pinch a piece of paper between your knees, and you can use that pressure in your knees against each other to slump even lower, like you're trying to drape into the earth. Your knuckles are heavy, lowering down. It's not a forward fold. You're using your knees, you're using your hip joints to sink. Inhale, rise up, square your feet, rotate the palms, engage the fingers, lift up. Breathe deep. This is an active posture, engaging the alignment of mountain pose, soaring. You're pulling back, opening your chest, flexing those fingers. Spread your fingers this time, spread the thumb away from the index. Exhale, knees droop together. Let those fingers become soft and heavy. Sink down low. So we don't want to round into a forward bend. We want to think more like a squat pose that's just collapsing on itself, releasing back tension. If your knuckles even make it to the floor, knees pressing against each other. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, engaging fingertips, opening your chest, breathing. 2 more deep breaths. Squeezing your glute muscles, squeezing your hip points towards each other, engaging the tailbone down through the feet. Exhale, drape and droop. You want to release the tension in your face, your tension in your shoulders, tension in your belly muscles, everything just kind of hanging like a rag doll being let down to lay on the floor even. We're not going to actually do that. Inhale, rise up. Open your chest, open those, engage those arms. Pull those arms back a little bit more, open with the arms, lifting the hands some this time. Good, and from here, you're gonna step your right foot back, reach your hands up, palms face forward. You're gonna, like you're trying to push a pillar over, you're gonna push forward as you lean forward, stretching through your right calf, your right heel. You're pushing that wall over, that pillar over, leaning out over that front thigh. Good. Touch the hands down to the floor. Stretch your crown away from your fingers, away from your heel. Breathe here. And then step back to the front of your mat. Droop your spine. Be ready to relax your spine, hips, thighs. Inhale, rise up. Rotate those palms, extending them out a little wider. Breathe. Active energy here. Step your left foot back, reach those hands up. You're going to plant that back foot as you push the wall over. Push the wall over by reaching outward, anchoring that left heel down. This should be your second side. Good. Dropping those hands to the floor, dropping them to blocks if the floor feels too far away. And then lift your crown away from the back heel, away from those fingertips as you breathe. Step back to the front of your mat. Drape your body like a cocoon, passive. Relax your spine, relax your hips, relax your thigh bones. Relax your neck. Inhale, rise up, nice and smooth, integrated movement with all those joints. Extend those palms, breathe. Strong mountain pose. Keep reaching out and back with those arms. Active, gazing over the horizon slightly. Just imagine where your horizon would be, unless you're outside, then you can just look at the horizon. And we're going to step that right foot back again, bring those arms up. Touch the arms, touch the thumbs or the fingers together. Lean back this time, sinking back on that back foot, pressing through the front foot. Good. Place both hands on your front knee, elbows out and wide. Tuck your chin. And then reach your left hand out as you twist and lift back up. So you're twisting in that high lunge, opening the chest here, breathe, 3 breath count. You can push your right hand against your outer left knee. Good, hands back on the knee, step to the front of your mat, ragdoll your body. Wait for the tension to release. Low back, hips and thighs, and your neck. Inhale, rise up. Open palms. Active mountain. Open the chest. Step your left foot back. Reach those arms up. This should be your second side. Press through the back heel. Press through the front foot as you lean back. You're arching your spine. Using your whole spine. Pulling back with those thumbs. Pulling back with the hands. Exhale. Place your hands on the front knee. Elbows kick out to make the upper back broad. Leaning forward, rounding forward a little bit. You're going to grab the outer knee with that left fingertip. Stretch your right arm out and you kind of pull. Your knee presses against your hand presses against your knee to help twist and lift. Twisted lunge. Breathe here. Place that hand back on the knees, step the legs together. Ragdoll posture, just relax your body, calm it down. Low back is soft. Hips are soft, thigh bones are soft. You're releasing that tension in your system. And when even the head and the neck tension is released, inhale, rise back up. So we're not accumulating tension as we're practicing. Inhale, draw your belly muscles in as you lift your chest up. Exhale, hands in prayer. You're going to halfway bend. Try to keep the legs straight if you can, or a little micro bend in the knees. Drop the hands, reach down like you're picking something up. If you're picking up a bowl of water, lift that bowl of water up. Inhale, hollow your belly. Reach up. That bowl fall away. It's imaginary after all. Palms together, halfway bend. Hinging at your hips, not rounding at your spine. Reach down, grab another bowl. Inhale, lift it up. Try to use your core, use the four corners of your feet. Inhale, hollow your belly. Reaching up. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Drop it down, grab another bowl. Inhale, lift it up. Reaching up. Exhale, hinging at the hips only, not the spine. Last one, grab that bowl. Inhale, lift it up. Legs are straight or slightly bent. Good, reach up nice and tall this time. Press those fingers into their highest height. Straighten with those shoulder blades. Come up the back. You're scrubbing those shoulders up towards the ears. Reaching up nice and tall. You can even, so you're gonna hover your heels beyond the tippy toes slightly. Keep getting longer and taller. Keep breathing here. Grab your right wrist and pull the right wrist over so you're making that right side body even longer. Try to send that right shoulder blade up as high as it can go. Opening under that right rib. Inhale, back to center, still on tiptoe if possible. Grab left wrist and you pull the left wrist over to the right in order to lift and lengthen the left shoulder blade up your back. Breathe into the space. Good, lower your heels down, come back to center. Send your hands out, zombie style, Frankenstein style. Squeeze those knees to touch. Your feet can be a little bit apart. Squeeze those knees to touch, lift those heels up. We're gonna lower down. Try to keep your spine upright and your belly back. So look in the camera if you can, or use a mirror. You just think, can I be more vertical? You just work towards using your core and a relaxed spine. Good, now plant your feet and put your hands on blocks, put your hands on a coffee table, or put your hands on the floor. And you're extending the legs. And let's pause here a moment. Nice, warmed up now. You want to be able to push down on whatever surface it is that you're pushing down on. So I'm using 2 blocks on their high setting. And when I push down, when you push down, can you feel how the rib cage can lift up? You're actually pushing down so much with your hands that it sends your shoulder blades broad on your back. Just try to get that action. The opposite action is to actually sink your chest through your shoulder blades. And then the pushing of the hands, this can be done at a wall, but a nice high coffee table works just fine if the blocks are too low. And you can keep the legs straight. If you need to bend your knees slightly, do so. One more time, just work on this action of sinking your spine through and then feel what it's like to push down so much that it kind of fills in your upper back. The active pushing down energy fills in your upper back. Good, a big stack of books would work just fine as well. Good, you all are getting it. Okay, inhale, come all the way back up. Draw your belly muscles in. Fold your hands like you're gonna do a dive. Yes, you're gonna reach up like you're gonna dive into the ocean or the ocean of yoga bliss. Reach up, scrub those shoulder blades up your back. Let your head kind of hang here. And now breathe as you draw your navel in. Open your front, sort of lean back on all that space you've made in your spine. Pressing through heel, pressing through ball of foot. You're gonna hook your thumbs and try to pull your thumbs apart now. Hook your thumbs and pull apart to open the chest. Engage the shoulder blades. And step your left foot back, lunge pose again. This could be warrior 1 for balance. Good, keep stretching back, opening back, pressing through that back heel. Exhale, reach the left hand forward, reach the right hand back. You're twisting, but staying upright. Flex your wrist, so it's like your fingertips. We're trying to tap two walls, and you're trying to tap and push those walls away from you. And now push the mat, try to tear your mat into two pieces as you twist. So as you're trying to tear your mat with your feet into two pieces, that should help you twist a little further. Keep breathing. Good. Big windmill motions. Place those hands on those blocks or whatever surface you were placing earlier and step back to that forward fold, creating downward pressure through your hands, filling in the back of your upper back. With that same activation in the upper back, now we're going to add the lower back. I'll show from the side, make sure it's clear. It's flat back pose, but you're filling in your low back as well. And the way you do that is to push down through your feet. And it's almost like pushing down through your heels a little more, straight into the earth. So your low back becomes full, your sit bones gently engage downward. You should feel the belly muscles engage against the low back. This is the cat, except our knees would be bent on the ground. Shrieking cat shape. Fills in, protects the back body. Good. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise up. Here we go. Hook those thumbs, reach up nice and tall. You can even let your head hang forward slightly. Scrub those shoulder blades up the back. Breathing to fill in that space that you're making. Good, you're gonna step your right foot back this time. Lunge pose, put the heel down if you need to for support. Otherwise, you're gonna keep hooking your thumbs, pulling apart, leaning back. Pushing through your feet, trying to almost push your feet away from each other. Front knee is bent, looks good. Keep pushing with the feet. Exhale, twist open so the right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches back. Spine's like a barbershop pole, didn't really move, just twisted it. Breathing here as you're twisting and pushing those feet away to help twist. Good. Windmill gesture, placing those hands at the front of your mat, on those blocks, on that surface, whatever it may be. Lift your kneecap as you press through your feet. Good. Bring your feet a little closer to the middle. Make sure you're still stable. And now lift your left foot up straight into the air like you're plugging your hip joint with your leg bone. So you're drawing your leg bone up into your hip so your left foot floats off the ground, and then reach the foot out to the side and place it back down. Inhale, lift up the right foot, draw it straight up into the hip socket, reach it out to the side. Exhale, place it back down. I'm gonna come to the camera, make sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. Inhale, lift up your left foot, drink it into the hip joint, so engaging your core, and then slowly swing it out to the side. Exhale, back down. One more time, other side. Inhale, drawing up the other foot. I forgot what side I said. Drinking it straight into the hip socket and then swinging it straight out. Exhale, placing it. Good, you guys kind of get what I'm saying. And place it back down. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. So if you weren't certain about what I meant, just come watch the screen real quick and I'll demonstrate from the side view so you can see. We're pushing down with my hands, pushing down with the feet so the back is full. And you're gonna watch this foot here. I know you can see it in the camera, especially if you're watching. And I'm gonna lift it straight up. I'm integrating into my hip joint. That was the part that some people missed. And then we go out like this. And we'll go back. I know some people want to do that already. But first we want to work on how to integrate into the hip joint. It feels so good. Let's try that sequence again. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward bend. Pressing down into those blocks with your hands. Pressing down to the earth with your feet. So your spine is integrated in the back. Once you feel that integration, inhale, lift up the left leg into the hip joint. And then extend it out and lower it back down. Inhale, lift up the right leg bone into the hip joint. Extend it out and then lower it back down. One more time each side. Inhale, left leg in, swing it out. Exhale, back down. Inhale, right leg, brink it into the joint. Swing it out. Exhale, back down. Good, you got it. Place your hands at the front of your mat and let's step on back, downward facing dog. And that same feeling you had in your low back, you wrap around your leg bones and you push your pelvis, push your sit bones down through your feet. Cultivating that same integrated energy. Once you're cultivated that, now pull the outer shoulder blades down and apart, opening the upper back. Breathe here. Good. Bend your knees, walk your knees back slightly, and then keep your elbows in as you do a half push-up. Elbows should be touching your side ribs. Inhale, back up. Half push-up again. Elbows in. Back up. Inhale up, and then exhale. Half push-up. The knees can be down. You don't have to make this so hard on yourself. Half push-up. Elbows in. Squeeze them against your sides. And back up. Love these push-up renditions, everyone. Good. Let's sit back and grab a little bit of context here for this arm placement. So we're going to place our hands about shoulders distance apart and make the index parallel. And the healthiest placement for the knuckle joints that I have found is you can see from the root of your wrist, you see the bones that reach to each knuckle, right? So your index, the bone that reaches to the knuckle starts at the wrist. The middle finger knuckle starts at the wrist. It's like a lattice. And if you just continue that line straight to your finger, so each finger is not as spread as it can be, but they're also not closed. If you bring your fingers together, you'll find that then the bones from the wrist kind of curve near the pinky and index. So just enough spread that you have a straight line from the center of the wrist to the tip of each finger. From there, press through your whole hand. Walk those knees back. Let's try it again. With this new awareness of the hand, rotate so the eyes of the elbow point forward to the front of your mat. And then bend your elbows, lowering down nice and slow. Inhale, back up. We're going to do 2 more of these. Keep the hands engaged. Keep the eyes of the elbow pointing forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down. And then lower down the rest of the way. Point your toes, lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your crown, and breathe. Exhale, release it down. Point your toes, lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your crown, breathe. Exhale, lower back down. Last one, point your toes, lift your legs, lift your chest, lift your crown. And then press on back, tabletop posture. Now our hands are under our shoulders, our knees are under our hips. Pushing down to the earth. Push your shins down into the earth. Push the toes down into the earth. We're creating that same back we did when our legs were straight. Our hands are on the blocks or the coffee table. It's the same exact action. Breathe here. Feel that back body and core integration. Lift up, if you can, you actually lift up on the tops of your feet. If not, tuck your toes and lift your knees 2 inches or 1 inch off the ground. Breathe here. And lower down. Good, bring the knees a little closer together and lift your, keep your legs touching and lift your right leg bone straight up into your hip sockets. The same thing we did when we were in forward fold. And then open your right knee straight out to the right. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, drink your left leg bone into your hip socket. Open it out to the left. Exhale, back down. 2 more. Inhale, right leg bone slides up into the hip joint. Opens out to the side. Exhale, back down. Inhale, left leg up. Open out. Exhale, back down. And then sit back, child's posture. From child's posture, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up, warrior 2 posture. Push your mat apart. In your warrior 2 with your feet. Stretch those fingertips up so you're flexing that outer hand, outer arm. Keep pushing that front knee towards the pinky toe. Keep pushing that back foot back with the outer edge. Inhale, lift up the left arm. Reach the right arm down. Breathe. Exhale, place the left elbow on the thigh and send your right arm straight to the air. Flex those fingers and now push your left elbow down and send those right fingers up and back. Up and back. Try to gaze at those peeling back fingertips. See what you feel in the legs and hips from there. Good. And place the right hand down on the mat. This can be on your elbow. Secure the hand down on the mat and turn your feet, both feet, all the way to your left. Begin outer hip stretch on your left leg. Most are going to stay here. Maybe walk the foot back a little bit, make it a little easier. And some of us are going to stack our feet side plank. Breathe. Place the left hand down, rotate to plank posture. Press down with your hands, press down with your feet. It's that same back body we had in forward fold. You can come down to knees first, elbows in, lowering down through plank. Inhale, point your toes, cobra posture. Exhale, pushing back, downward facing dog. Drawing the deep belly muscles toward the low back and then anchoring the energy down through the sit bones. Step your right foot forward on your mat. Inhale, wheel it up, warrior 2 posture. Try to tear your mat in two by pushing the front knee towards the pinky toe, pushing the outer edge of your back foot back. Wing those fingertips to engage the back of the arm. Breathe as you open up, right arm up. Exhale over, place the right elbow down into the thigh bone and send your left hand straight into the sky like a flagpole. And then as one motion, one unit of energy, push down through your right elbow Reach up through your left fingertips until they start to peel up and away. Breathing into that space you made in the front body, side ribs. Good. Take that hand, place the left hand down at the front of the mat, anchor it into the earth, plugging with that strong hand connectivity we just talked about, and turn your feet to point to the right edge. Both feet just turn in place. Some of us will stay here, enjoy that outer hip stretch. Some of us will walk the right foot back just halfway for stability. And others will stack the feet side plank. Breathe. Enjoy the asana. Ground and seal your right hand into the earth. Come down your knees if you wish, lower down through plank. Inhale, point your toes, cobra posture. Breathe. And then press back, child's pose. Settle your body a moment. Relax. Good. When you're ready, we're going to come back to our tabletop pose. This can be done on your forearms. You could do this on a coffee table ability to have a little more head height if you need. Otherwise, tabletop, hands pressed down. And we rotate the eyes of the elbow to point forward. Talked about that a bunch over the years in this class. Eyes of the elbows point forward, and you're pushing down to lift and fill in your back body. That's the key to today's class. It's this filling in of the back body with engagement. And from that, you're going to push your shins down into the earth to engage the low back. Then you're going to lift your right leg. You're just going to draw from knee straight into the hip joint. Open the knee out to the side and make a big circle with your knee. Big circle with your knee all the way around. And then reverse that circle all the way around. Big circle. And then back to center, tabletop. Press through those engagement points. Shins down. Palms down. Belly and spine lift. Lift the left knee up into the hip joint. Open it out to the side. Big circle, big as you can draw with that knee. Reverse the loop. And then place back down. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. And then walk to the forward fold at the front of your sticky mat. Find those blocks. Press down with the hands into those blocks. Drape your head. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, bring up your left knee. Pull your hands back and out. Exhale, step back. Just touch the toes. You reach those hands forward. And then open up warrior two. Straighten your front leg, triangle pose. Two more deep breaths here in triangle. Inhale, back up. And then windmill your arms back to that coffee table, back to those blocks at the front of your mat. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Spread those rocketeer wings. Inhale, lift up your right knee. And then exhale, slide that toe back. See how far back that toenail can touch as you reach those hands out in front. And then wing it open, warrior two. Straighten your front leg, triangle pose. Breathe a few deep breaths here. Pushing from the core of our pelvis out through the four corners of each foot. Winging those fingertips further and further away from the center of our heart. Big broad wings. Deep anchored roots. Inhale, back up. Windmill the hands, place them at the front of the mat. Or on those blocks or on that coffee table, step to the front. Release the spine. Think ragdoll. Remember at the beginning of class how we release that tension each time? Inhale, roll it on up. Exhale, hands to heart. Open those wings, rocketeer hands, flail those fingertips back. Engage the arms, lifting the left knee. Breathe. Stepping back slowly as you can. Reach those hands out in front. See if that toenail can touch as far back as it'll go. Open up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle posture. Pressing from the core of our pelvis through the four corners of our feet. Spreading those winged fingertips. Inhale back up. Windmill the hands to the front. Stepping the foot front. Ragdoll your spine. Inhale, rising back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Peel those fingertips open, engage those arms, lifting up right knee. Take a full breath here. Hands go forward as the toe reaches back, touching that toenail. As far back on the mat as you can. Open up, warrior two. Keep breathing, friends, don't forget. Straighten the front leg, move into Trikonasana pose. From the core of your pelvis, seal the four corners of your feet. From the center of your heart, wing those fingertips away from each other. Inhale back up, bend the front knee, windmill the hands to the front of your mat. Take a big step forward. Release the pelvis, release the effort and tension. Inhale, rise back up. As you rise up, bring up your left knee this time, and then exhale, sit your left knee on top of your right. So it's fine to bend your right knee a little bit. You're crisscrossing your knees, kind of like the stance little kids do, and they have to hold their pee and they don't want to tell anybody. That's exactly what that is yogic enlightenment right there. Social discomfort. Squeeze the knees past each other. You can have the toe touch the ground, you can have the foot float in the air. But for some, as the knees squeeze past each other, you'll be able to hook the foot. Rest your hands, just keep them soft for now. Fill in the back of your heart. You can do a little pantomime to help open the back of the heart, or cross your left elbow under the right to open the back of your heart. And hook the hands if it's available. Good. Inhale, step it up. Bring the hands down to center. Bend your knees. Relax your body. Relax your body. Not collapsing, but you're not rigid. You're trying to let the tension drain and let your natural joint mobility work together. Let those fingertips touch the block. Maybe they'll touch the floor. And then when you're ready, inhale, rise up. Bring the right knee with you. And then cross the right knee over a bent left knee. Again, you can let the foot hang, let the toe touch the earth. Or for some, as you squeeze those knees past each other, it may hook the foot. Arms can be passive, or you do a pantomime wall to help open your back, or you bring the right elbow under the left. Maybe hook the hands. Breathe here. Control your awareness. Still the four corners of the foot apply. Front body to back body, belly muscles in, apply. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's step our feet as wide as our yoga mat. Outer feet are parallel. Close your eyes, just feel a moment here. Four corners of the feet, friends. Engage the kneecaps. Bring the tailbone in to root down through the feet as the belly muscles support. Broaden your heart, broaden the collarbones, and float your crown. From here, start to bend your knees. Imagine that your back was sliding down a wall. You won't go far. You're just listening to your joints, ankles, knees, hips. And just let your body do whatever it needs to move about 3 inches deeper. So if your feet need to move, they need to lift, back needs to go forward, that's fine, just 3 inches deeper. Engage your core a little more. Okay, now let whatever adjustments your body needs to do, 3 inches deeper. So we're trying to keep the back upright, trying to keep the outer feet parallel, but it's okay to let whatever your body needs engage the posture. 3 inches deeper, 6 inches deeper to your lowest point, maybe hands to the floor in your squat. Good, rocking forward, then stepping back. Let's come to our forearms now from this pose. So forearms and knees, and you're gonna walk your knees back further than you normally would. You can hold the block with your hands or place your palms flat on the floor. Press your forearms down, press your shins down. This engages our back body, tones our core. From there, you're going to walk your knees a little further back. What will happen is when you lose integrity in the core, your low back will dip. If that happens, no, start over. Spine should stay engaged the whole time. 2 more deep breaths. Most challengers, you're going to lift your knees off the ground by tucking your toes. 3 more deep breaths. Forearm plank. Push the forearms down. Don't let the heart collapse. And good. Drop the pelvis into the mat. Open the spine. Sphinx posture. Pressing those forearms down still. So it's a little bit easier in Dolphin to hold the block so your hands are palms faced towards each other rather towards the floor. And let's lift our hips up, Dolphin Pose, pushing down with our forearms, sinking our heels towards the earth. And that same action we've been working all class, we're lifting the leg bone up
into the hip joint. So lift the right foot off the mat by drawing it straight into that right hip socket. And then open the leg out to the right, back, and then lift the leg straight up behind you, and then back down. Lift the left leg bone straight into the hip socket. Open the leg out to the left, back down, and then straight back down, and then lower, bend your knees. Very good. Rest a moment, breathe here. Place the hands, come to kneeling posture. Rotate the eyes of the elbow to point to the front of your mat. Lift your chin. Breathe. Push down so you can lift your knees off the ground. Some of you can lift your feet off the ground as well. Back down. One more of those. Push your hands down. Lift your knees. Use your core muscles. And then lift up. Standing posture. Turn the palms to face front. Breathe into the chest. You're going to turn your left knee out on the left hip toe. Drink the leg, so slide the left foot up the right leg. You can use your hand for help to tree posture. So you want to tuck the heel or the ball of the foot into something. Just don't put pressure on the knee, so either the calf or the thigh. Use a wall for balance. We want to get a good long focusing of breath and mind in our tree. So it's fine to have a hand on the wall to build that stability. Perhaps you take an empty gaze at a spot on the wall in front of you, or you just go inward. Either way, feel the body in a full sense of presence. What we're going to do today is we're going to turn our arms. If you don't need a wall, but if you're using the wall, have the left hand be on the wall. Actually, what would really be great is if your right hand, you pushed this whole right forearm against the wall. If you can see in the video here, my elbows are straight out from my shoulder. I've turned my palms like my palms are on two walls very close together, and I'm stuck between them. Pushing my legs against each other, foot against thigh, thigh against foot, and I'm pushing my palms and forearms against these imaginary walls. This opens my chest, elongates my tree pose. Breathe. You need to focus your energy. You'll feel the mind want to wobble and waver. Look for a silence that keeps you present, engaging the details. Fabulous. Bring those hands back down by your side. Release the foot. Mountain pose. Ragdoll your body a bit. Just let the tension go. That first pose we did in class. Like how a teenager that was too cool for school would do chair pose. No engagement, no effort. All right, we're gonna rise back up. You're gonna turn the right knee out. Lift the right foot up against the left leg to some spot. You can use the hand, placing the foot against the thigh perhaps, or the calf, just We recommend not putting pressure on the knee. I don't know why. Probably for the knee safety. Not sure if it even is true. Could be a myth. But you don't want to be the person to find out, I don't think. Putting pressure, then you can at least really go for it. If you're on the thigh bone, really put pressure. Foot against thigh, thigh against foot. Arms come out. So if you're using the wall, probably a really cool idea. You put your whole left palm and forearm against that wall. And then otherwise you put imaginary walls and you push out on those imaginary walls in your tree pose. Opens the chest, opens the collarbones. And it can help you root your core down through your foot. Staying with your breath, internal awareness. Great focus, everyone. Really still. Or everyone's screen is frozen. I don't know. I got some of you with that one. Sorry. Never break character. Good. Release that foot. Bring the hands back down to mountain. Passive ragdoll. Bummed out teenager in chair pose. A little deeper this time. Letting the body kind of drip and back into the earth. All right, we're going to try it here. We're going to come onto our forearm. Again, forearm plank. And what you're going to do today, you can watch the variation, maybe watch the demonstration. You're going to go on your forearm. It's the same pose, it's tree pose. You're going to turn all around the outer edge of the bottom foot. So this is the left hand down, or it's my right, my left foot down. And using this hand for balance at first, I bring my top leg into my tree shape. It can be the calf, it can be the thigh, whatever works. And I'm pushing thigh against foot, foot against thigh. And from there, when I have my balance, if I get my balance, we take the top hand off the ground, reaching it up. That's forearm plank. You engage a lot of the alignment. If the down leg straight is not going to work for you, you're going to keep the knee on the ground the whole time and lift the knee and point the toe. So it's okay. I'm going to show it from the side so you can see if you're going to do the knee on the ground version. Right. So everything else maintains. And rather than put the foot in tree, you just point the toe and lift the hip open. Okay, that'll be your variation. Let me guide you through it. Come down to plank, forearm plank. Walk those knees back. And then turn to, let's do our left side down first. You're really pressing that left forearm. You're rotating your body. You're going to open your right fingertips. Right fingertips to support you. Good. Now see if you're going to make your left leg straight. You're going to make your left leg straight. You want to kind of get really on the outer edge of that pinky edge of that foot and kind of get that foot towards flat maybe. And this might be enough. Kind of push down with that forearm. Push down with your foot so your hips lift. Bend your right knee up and pull the left foot in. Don't put pressure on the knee. And lift the hips. See where it gets you. Again, knee down, same thing. Everything else applies. And release back down. Good. Let's go over to our second side. Our right forearm. And stay on the knees or extend the leg straight. Come onto the outer right foot. If you're on the outer foot, you're going to lift the hips up. Left fingertips are down for balance to start. So you have a tripod. And then when you're ready, opening the pose, extending that arm if it's available. Once you're done, you're going to come around, back to child's pose. Rest the moment. Where you're going to sit up. Sit on a prop if your knees are sticking up in the air. Let's have ankles and knees lined up with each other, cross-legged. Do both sides, it doesn't matter. But if you're following with me, it's your left shin in front. You take those two blocks and replace them in front of that shin. Just slide the blocks forward slowly. Go back full. Letting the head be soft. Not reaching, not straining. Letting those blocks kind of move with you as your body relaxes. Inhale, roll it back up. You can lean back to change the legs. Use a little core engagement if you want. Knees over ankles, in line with ankles. Blocks in front. Just very passively keeping the arms straight. Let those blocks slide forward any amount as you release the effort to be upright. Inhale back up. Bring the knees up. Extend the legs out straight. Point the toes for a moment. And then bring your left knee in. You can hold the ankle, hold the foot, and draw the ankle towards your chest. You can even sit back a little bit. Belly muscles in. Just lift that ankle up and down. Explore the mobility. And then pull the ankle in towards the groin, in towards the thigh, hip, and hook the outer ankle on top of the quad. Use those blocks, stretch them out in front, let the hands rest on them, and they might just stay right there. Or for some, we'll be able to slide the blocks a little further forward. Inhale, bring your body up and lift your left knee so that your right foot, lift your left knee so your left foot can come to flat on the mat, or you can stay on the same side on the inner thigh or over the outer thigh. Hug your left knee and twist. Untwist. Extend the left leg out straight. Point the toes. Bring your right ankle in. Grab the ankle with the hand and pull it toward the body. Sitting back a little bit to engage your core. And then just slide your ankle up and down. And you're going to pull in, be mindful, don't strain, and see where you can tuck that ankle into your thigh. Drape over the legs, hands on blocks are great, sitting up is great. Shoulder blades heavy. Back of the neck is long and full. Belly muscles weave into the low belly and back. Keep that, but rise up, taking the right foot across, lifting the right knee up. You can wrap or hug the knee, outer leg as you twist to your right. Chest towards inner thigh. Inhale back to center. Extend those legs out. Pull the navel into the spine. Start to lower down. Pressing your back into the mat. The feet bent. No, with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. Press your arms down. Inhale, lift up, bridge pose number 1. Exhale, press the spine into the mat. Inhale, press up, bridge pose number 2. Squeezing the glutes without letting the knees widen. Exhale, spine back into the mat. Inhale, bridge pose number 3. Exhale, press the spine into the mat. Last one, bridge pose, lift up. Exhale back. Bring your knees into your chest, curl your forehead off the floor. And then send your right leg out straight on the mat and twist over to your right. You can lay on your back. Twisting that left knee all the way over to the right. You've got it, Lynn. There you go. Inhale back up. Let's swap the legs, knees to chest, bring the forehead up a little bit. And then lay the head back down, take the right leg over to the left. Second side. Back up. Do a happy baby pose, maybe a plow posture where you send your knees or feet over behind your head. So your hips are in the air, you're on your shoulders and skull. That feels good to you. Or happy baby. Maybe another twist. Whatever feels right at this moment. Maybe a handstand. No, I'm just kidding. It could feel right at this moment. I don't know. And then you're going to feel it out. You're going to start to slide your legs out straight, but maybe you're going to do that by bringing the bottoms of your feet together, letting the knees drop open. Or you're going to have your feet as wide as your mat, And let your knees kind of fall together. So the opposite, whatever kind of feels better on your back, your spine. One is feet wide, knees touch. One is feet touch, knees apart. Just pay attention to that low back, your spine. Start to make it a little bit longer. Walk those feet out a little further away from your hips. Until you slide them all the way out, nice and easy, letting your bones settle into the earth, your spine settle into the earth. Then release the tension in your muscles, release the tension in your face, tension in your jaw. Lift and lower your chin a little bit. Make sure your neck and skull have spacious alignment to rest. Savasana. Stretch your body. roll to your side. And take a comfortable seat on your mat. Hope you had fun tonight. As always, I'm interested in your feedback on the rigor. This may be a slower moving class, but I think the rigor of the poses was higher than usual. So always interested to hear what you think. I hope you feel better than when you started. Thanks for being here. Namaste. So feel welcome to say some goodbyes and pause the recording, or you're welcome to, I'll see you